This video is sponsored by my OnlyFans, where I do my meaningful sex educational content, fitness, health, nutrition, relationship advice, and more. Hi guys, and welcome to Geargy Reviews and to this book review of Sanguinius, the Great Angel. So these books just come out of nowhere. I mean, I knew that it's going to be by the end of the year, but like all of a sudden I just found out that the book is out and I'm like, where is the schedule of the books? I did this. Yeah. Anyways, don't clip that. So, guys, not watching, but listening to this, which is kind of like watching because, these books do a great job of illustrating with words what's happening. So, I'm kind of like in the world, I'm imagining what is going on in a particular scene. And this book, the main difference between this and the other books from the Horus heresy, and maybe like in Warhammer in general, is that this is through the perspective of a remembrancer, a guy that's supposed to record history, and through his eyes, he is telling us what is happening, basically. And thank God, thank the Emperor, this book is only 5 and something hours. I just cannot stress how great that is, because I was able to finish it in 2 days, unlike the previous book, which I'm still battling to finish, and I have 4 more hours, so maybe I'm going to push through for the next 2 days, and maybe I'm going to finish that as well. But these books are too long and this is the only one that is not, so I'm grateful for this, very, very grateful. Anyway, so how is the book? Because, the book, well, I don't know, guys. I mean, in the previous book, at least we got something that was very, very special. In the end of the book, I mean, obviously, I reviewed the final battle, between Sanguinius and Angron. So I know that, but I have not finished the book, in a chronological sense from start to finish. I went to the battle, so I can cover that, but the rest of the book, I still have to finish those final hours, excluding the battle. Just saying, if you'd like to see the review of that book, let me know. But anyways, I mean, that book so far, sorry, I'm gonna get my phone now. So the previous book, it had a bit more of stuff that matter, like the fight that I'm telling you about. This book, guys, I'm disappointed, honestly, because it does not give us a ton that I would like to know. I mean, I have 4 hours, okay. So Echoes of Eternity, I mean, it really gives us that awesome battle at the end. Like I've said, there's some other things, a talk between the Emperor and Sanguinius, which is super essential to me. It's great. Every time that the primarch is speaking with anyone, especially a primarch with the Emperor, that's the best thing ever that you can get. That's the highest of the highest. The fighting between the primarchs, anything that the Emperor says, anything that the primarch says to someone else, those are the very highs of Warhammer in general. I mean, of Warhammer books. So X of Eternity goes in those highs, and here we just have the highs of Sanguinius talking to the Remembrancer mostly, and everything else is about a freaking Remembrancer. I just can't say this. Try to say that 10 times fast. So it is annoying to me, guys, for the love of the Emperor, how many times we have to have so much filler in these books? We have too much filler. I just can't. I don't care about the human characters. I really don't. There are some that are interesting, more than others. Malkador, Malcador the Sigillite. Everything about him is interesting, but of course he's not a regular human. He's amazing in a lot of aspects. He is full of mystery. He is one of the strongest psychers ever. And I mean, especially when he's not a primarch, and the strongest psyker that is not a primarch, and all of that. And Sanguinius is, to me, now officially my most favorite primarch ever. I think, I mean, I'm really torn between him and Gilliman because I appreciate both of their qualities. And I have to talk about in another video. I have some stuff that I really want to do considering Warhammer. The polls that I'm putting are for that reason, this primarch against this primarch, all of that. But we'll see when that's gonna happen, but I do plan it. Anyway, so Sanguinius, guys, he is very nuanced. He's not as bland as some people would think that he is. He's not a Mary Sue by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know why people would think that. There's so much more to him, and you can see that a little bit here, but it's just not enough, guys. It's just not enough. I would say for a book that's supposed to be called The Great Angel, there's just so much of the teller of the story, so much of him, and just so not enough of Sanguinius himself. I enjoy everything that has to do with Sanguinius, but it's just not enough. He's like, what? I don't know if he is 50% in this. I wouldn't call it, I wouldn't give it like 50% of the book if I have to be completely honest. I would say that the Remembrancer is like almost everything in this book. And we also have this in the beginning where we see through this guy's eyes how he sees the Astartes, the primarchs, all those things which we also saw through all of the other characters. I mean, so many other human characters and so many other books. We already seen that before. I mean, how many times you can milk the premise of, oh my gosh, I'm a regular human being and these godly creatures are, right there in front of me. It's a primarch and he's speaking to me. Okay. I understand that, but you cannot like milk it forever and to emphasize it so much. They're like using so many words for this. I don't know how many pages because I'm listening to it, but the point is, it is milked far too often in like all of these books basically. So we get it. I doubt that anyone that is not familiar with the lore is just going to pick up a random book and just go for it without any context, yes, from the previous stories and books. So why? I mean, that's my point. There's just too much filler and a lot of too much filler from the same, coming from the same aspects of these books, the same structure, so much stuff. So the one thing that like really matters is to get more into Sanguinius as a character, into his legion, to explore the thing with the flaw, to see how that flaw can be like good, bad, controlled, whatever the mystery behind it is, to see how Sanguinius was able to be so different from his brothers, and he after all used that to reach his potential to a bigger extent maybe than some of the previous other primarchs. So you can really like dig into the philosophical everything that has some kind of a meaning, and it's a mystery and it's interesting and makes the whole Warhammer lore deep in general. But no, instead of that, GW just like to be like, oh, I mean, no matter who is the author of these books, they're like, oh, just like fill it with human characters, this and that. There's always like a woman somewhere in there. There's always some kind of a guy that they just feel so familiar. Each and every one of these human characters. There's a woman, there's a guy. They act similarly. They speak similarly. It's ridiculous to me. I mean, to this point. So I would just like a story that's tight, straight to the point, and does not waste a single second of the listener or reader's time. And to get more of the main stuff, more of the main characters, more of the main lore, their interactions, their struggles, their inner demon fighting, if you will, how they grew, what they understood, throughout the years, as for instance the primarchs here, what is their view, when it comes to their father, which it is explored here as well, but it's just to a lesser extent when you compare it to all the other filler. Then we just don't need to see. We had a lot more percentages of a human perspective storytelling, and here is even directly from a human perspective storytelling. So this book should be called Remember Sir, the story of a of a Remember Sir that is trying to record history as it was. And well, that's gonna be very, very boring title, so they decided to just use Sanguinius' name and just shove him in there. Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, and they do something like Game of Thrones, where you are, you're or watching the story and somebody is reading one of the books from the Game of Thrones universe while you're watching the story about Game of Thrones. Something like this is happening as well. So yeah, I would give this book like 10 out of 10 for the length. Like, please God, let more of these novels be shorter. Like, please God, really. Because honestly, they're 50% a waste of time otherwise. And this was short book and still was waste of time. And I would say 60% of this book is a waste of time. You see? So at least made them 5 hours. Because like 13, 14 hours for a universe and characters that already have so many books. I lost count even from the Horus heresy. Over 50 now, I think. Like, there's so many. I really lost count, guys. I'm sorry. But I really did. There are so many others that are covering the current lore. So much side stories about the current lore that connect to the main thing, but they're not that essential. They're just not. You can, by that logic, tell a story about the ant of the other side of Terra, and then about another ant that is like somewhere in, I don't know, in Gilliman's, in his universe. So it doesn't really matter, or an ant that is traveling through space and is completely sentient and intelligent, going into the eye of Terra, meeting, a demon, and then talking to one of the chaos gods because reasons. That's really not gonna be probably relevant to the main lore enough to be worth the 20 something dollars that these novels cost every time. So to be just milking it and not enough of what really, really matters, where Warhammer lore really shines, what makes it different from other universes, what makes it so interesting and special, so fascinating. That is what GW should be focusing on, but of course that is a lot harder to do, compared to just writing filler. But like at some point they have to do it. The first Horus Heresy books, they were good. Legion, one of these, and the very first as well, they were a lot better, a lot more focused on what the heck's happening with Horus, how he fell to chaos. That is what I need. Fulgrim as well. Fulgrim, one of the best books. The Flight of the Eisenstein, All of these are just so much better than the rest that I have, so far read. and I consume those in the audio book form. I'm gonna get to your comments. By the way, hold on. So I'm gonna enter now our server, Golden Astartes, which of course everyone are welcome to join, guys, if you haven't already. And I'm going to the 40k audiobook page, so I can tell you some stuff. So yeah, Throne of Light from Guy Haley. Some things there that were, interesting, especially about Son of Dorn. The Black Templars, okay, but then again, not that special. Devastation of Baal was better. I did a review of all of these books, by the way. Okay, going back a bit to see what I left here. Yeah, I wrote about Fulgrim. Okay, so I had my list here about, all the Horus Heresy books that, I wanted to read, and basically what I already read as well. So yes, Horus Rising was great, False Gods was great, Galaxy and Flames was great, as far as I remember, The Flight of the Eisenstein, as I said, Fulgrim, The First Heretic, Legion, Mechanicum, and it was not bad. It's good, still better than this one. Nemesis, no, I totally left that in the middle. I didn't like it at all. It was annoying. I mean, there was some cool stuff about, the Custodes, and the Custody General. Custody General, yes. Totally escaped. His name escaped me. But the point is, yeah, I mean, it's fascinating about the assassins and all, but the way that this was written, I just lost it. Haven't read A Thousand Suns yet. A Thousand Suns. Prospero Burns, The Outcast Dead, Vulcan Lives, No Fear, Betrayer, The Unremembered Empire, Pharaohs. These I have not. I jumped to The Master of Mankind, which was disappointing because once again it was not about the Emperor. It was like this about the Emperor and everything else about, it was about other stuff. And I didn't like it. Praetorian of Dorn, I haven't read that yet. So, those are actually also the books that were January, sorry, not in January. In general, those were recommended. When you compare to the other books that are already there, those are like the must-reads that people would, recommend. I tried to get through that. Someone posted the book in another language, so I'm not sure what the title was, but basically about the wolves. Damn it! So that was not good. That was one of the worst 40k books that I had to go through. So yeah, I would give this, 6 out of 10. Yes, 6 out of 10. But thank you so much to my dear and amazing Primarch, Matti, thank you, for, this book, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get it. So thank you, I appreciate that. Now, well, thanks, Matti. Let's see now what you're saying, guys. And of course, you give me your score if you have read or listened to this book. Okay, first, Ivy says, so Sanguinius was spread 210. Yeah, it seems. I also don't like when events are too repetitive, like as you describe, feeling breathless by the sight of a primarch yet again and again afterwards. Yeah, and breathless by the sight of the Astartes, how the Astartes were once again described with the blue eyes and everything. I have blue eyes, so I just love when people have blue eyes, not because I only have blue eyes, but the point is, in general, Greek gods, Wonder Woman, how she was drawn before Superman, Batman, all of that. Astartes having blue eyes is just amazing. Anyway, but they're just, it is the same things all over again. And all over again. Mati says, that is what I have been saying. It seems as though he was everywhere all the time. And then to have Gilliman say that he was the new emperor was a bit more than I think he could take. Well, it is addressed in the book, actually, that, Sanguinius does not have this mentality of being the king, the leader. If he has to do it, he has to do it because it is his literal duty. But otherwise, he is not hungry for power in any way, shape, or form. He's quite the opposite. So that is good because he has to be humble in order for him to be a good leader, and he respects his people a lot more. And if he, if he wasn't obligated to participate in this whole thing, he wouldn't. He would just be on his planet and managing his own people. And Matty says, hey, my BT boys are gonna save the galaxy and the Imperium. I feel called out. Why, Empress, why? No, you're not. No, don't do anything, Matty, please. Of the Dorn book. Well, if you wish, I'm gonna get through it, for sure. If it's possible. So we gotta see that other book. It was with the Emperor. Like, okay, let me just go to Amazon real quick. I don't know why. No, Amazon Audible. So we can see what books I have to get to next that I haven't gone to. And they just, came out very, very fast when they were like, in pending for so long. Okay. I gotta see which are the newest ones. Okay, hold on, guys. They're not exactly with the dates, so I gotta somehow sort them out. I don't see that book that I'm trying to describe you. So yeah. Give me some seconds, guys. There was a way to sort those. Okay, I don't know why Audible is like so heavy. I don't get it. Aha! Newest. Okay, I see the filter. So hopefully this loads and I will let you know what it is that it's needed. Amazing site. Okay, so there's that's not 40k though. Okay, Gods of Mars? When did that came out? Like, I'm surprised once more. There's a book that I don't know about. Gods of Mars. Okie dokie, Mati. Okay, let me continue. So, Gods of Mars. Book 3, even. Space Marine Battles, Warhammer 40k. This is the first time I ever heard of this. Battle of the Fang. Okay. The Curse of Cain. I think I've heard of that. The Greater Good. Whoa. Okay, I don't see that book. that there's a Helbrecht, I forgot, or Hilbert, Knight of the Throne. This is a book that I watched Wolflord reviewing. There's some stuff there that are important, so yeah, I would like to go through that, but yeah, I don't see the other one. So gotta find it, guys, gotta find it. Okay. When I find it, I'm gonna let you know, Matthew, which is that book with the throne. You can always check, Chapter Master Varlak's review of it, and you would see what I'm talking about. But it's interesting that it just is not here. Hope that there is an audio form of this book. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. 6 out of 10, not IGN, but Gary. And we see guys each other very soon, hopefully with the next Warhammer content that I have figure out. I hope that more Warhammer fans are gonna come back because they're kind of absent at the moment. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Like I've said, thanks so much for watching. If you have any book suggestions, let me know, of course. And if you like to support me, links down below to my Patreon, PayPal, and of course, OnlyFans, where I do all my meaningful sex educational content, fitness, health, nutrition, relationship advice, physique updates, and more. So yeah, you can catch me there for any advice or coaching. Bye guys, love you. And this is for something else.